Hey, welcome to TELUS STORYHIVE On Location Victoria with the Carpe Noctem Creators Challenge. We're coming to you live from House of Owl Creation Club. This is Victoria's co-working space for creators. And House of Owl is located on the unceded and ancestral territories of the Lekwungen people. And so a deep bow, deep respect, deep love to the Songhees and Esquimalt people who have taken care of this land since time immemorial. My name is Jordan Dack, and I am your host on this Carpe Noctem adventure. So, last episode, if you were with us, we had a chance to meet all of our songwriters, our producer, our engineer, and start getting into their head about in terms what is the creative process, how do they navigate it, how do they face blocks, how do they move through them, and what expectations they have for the evening. They're off now. The timer has begun, and we are about 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the 5-hour journey. The songwriters are out working on their first ideas, seeing what inspiration comes to them, and I've got a chance to hang out with my friend and extraordinary producer, Andre Lamb, or as I know him and others, Audiophysical. So, Audiophysical.
Hello.
Tell me about the name Audiophysical.
So when I was younger, I was doing a lot of video work, audio-visual work. I was filming skateboarding and just whatever else I found interesting. And I really enjoyed the process of finding music and putting that to these visuals. And then I thought a lot of the music I was choosing, I was like, how do they make this music? A lot of it was UK, trip-hop, Portishead, Massive Attack and things like this. And so I started looking at like maybe I could make this kind of music to put with the visual projects I'm making, these little videos. And so being audio-visual and then physically having to make it, audio-physical kind of came into the world.
Yeah, I love it. I don't know, I've seen you, just knowing you for a while now and also following any social post you post. It seems like you are involved in so many different ways of expressing yourself. Whether it be multiple instruments, but also screen printing. And also, I've just seen you work with your hands too. So I always thought Audiophysical had something to do with the fact that you are in there with all senses.
Yeah, it is a bit like that also. Like I said, I did stem the name itself from making video work, but definitely was never been shy of manual labor in life and having to make things happen. And music is one of those things you got to make it happen.
Totally, man. So, you've been working in this world for a while now. What is it that still excites you about producing a song?
I think I always feel that every time a song is created that feels original, it didn't exist before, I was never particularly gifted at covering other musicians' music. It didn't inspire me to replicate someone else's piece, even if it is an inspiring piece. But I was always of the thought that I could make something that hasn't existed before. A combination of chords played on a certain instrument in a certain way, or the medium itself, the way you record it can change it. So that was always fascinating to me, and I think it still is.
In a few minutes here, we're going to go out and we're going to find the songwriters that are all, in their own space building. And then we're going to come back in here and you're going to have an opportunity to hear what they've all been working on. What are you going to be listening for?
Obviously the energy level behind everyone, there's sometimes people make music and they're shy about showing it to others. Some people make music and they're super excited and all they want to do is just tell the world. So every songwriter's different. I don't know them all well enough to know how they operate in that level. So I will be looking obviously to see how excited they are about their idea, whether they feel very confident and sure about it and feel it's a good thing. Again, like I said, looking for overlap, just as each idea comes out, seeing where they might work together. Maybe all the ideas become one idea.
Yeah.
No one's idea has to be shelved or put away.
That's great. Okay, so then, as the producer tonight, which decision do you think, what is the first decision you're going to have to make?
I guess the jumping off point, choosing, obviously talking to everyone and saying, I think this is where we should start with this idea or this melodic concept. Kind of have to point at something. For the first step, please choose a direction.
Okay. Well, should we go and see what they're working on?
Investigate,
Yeah, we'll just kind of peek in on them, eavesdrop for a minute, and then move along. And we'll wait till we're all back in here to really dig in.
Okay. Sounds good.
Music now? You want me to play something?
Yeah. See what's going on.
We connected, it's feeling so fine. The good old days when how time flies. Ask me about that summer day and I smile.
How's it going?
Good.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Good. You feel like it's flowing? Or?
I do feel like it's fun. I like your title idea.
Yeah. Good.
I got a little something so far.
Yeah.
Almost remember the hands in my hair on the night in November. It's like I was there. The way you were staring felt like I knew. I'd always remember this perfect shade of blue. I don't know where to go from here though.
Oh my
I almost don't
gosh.
want to do too much because I want everyone else's idea.
Okay, we're gonna move right along here, Colleen. That sounds incredible.
I'm busy. Hi.
It's a lot of writing already, eh?
I don't edit as I write. I just
Yeah,
write
yeah.
and I go back and scratch stuff out.
How's it feeling?
I feel like I was like, everyone's so hip hop and ska and reggae and pop. I kind of was like, what if I like came up with like a really classic country melody that could like sit on top of something else
That's smart.
to kind of like figure out like a different genre. Of
Super cool.
thing. Yeah. So
Okay.
I just kind of have like a tag. Should I? Do you want-
Yeah, let's hear a little something.
And I almost remember, but I left my sweet temper far behind.
Absolutely. I'm getting goosebumps every place that we stop in here. Thank you,
excited.
Ellie. Okay, we're gonna head back. Please join us basically right away if you want to just like follow us back in.
Okay.
So why don't we share some of our ideas? Yeah. Who wants to go first?
Should I hold the mic?
Yeah, Caleb, if you wouldn't mind holding the mic and maybe
Yep.
leaning it in the direction of whoever's playing.
So my idea, okay, hi. I was just thinking, you guys are all very like hip hop, pop, reggae. I don't know, cool. And like,
True.
kind of
Go on.
Facts.
cool.
All facts.
And I was like, well, what if I just brought like a really classic country melody, kind of chord progression that could sit on top of something hip hoppy beats, offbeat. It could be kind of a cool fusion. So that was. I don't have like a direction really for like the theme of the song, but what I did was I came up with like a little seed of the last line of the chorus. That's what we do in country music is we tend to write the last line of the chorus
Yeah.
first.
And that's the title of the song?
Yeah.
So I'll just yeah. And I almost remember, but I left my sweet temper far behind.
Ooh.
You should put that on Netflix.
What do you call Netflix right now?
So I was recently hanging out with a friend that I hadn't seen since high school, and they're like asking me about this like thing that happened, and I was like, "Fuck that! I'm pretty sure that happened." I mean, I'm pretty sure that happened, and then I had to remember if I could remember it, and so kind of just like thinking about that. Yeah.
Nice.
We connected, this feeling so fine. We talk about the good old days, time flies. You asked me about that summer day and I smile. And I wish I was there with you, but in truth I don't almost remember.
Beautiful.
The lyrics are like, you know.
We'll leave all of that up to Ellie. We've decided. Yeah.
That sounds great, Drew.
That's great.
Thank you for sharing.
Nice.
All right. Call me.
All right, mine's Yeah, these are all going to go together. I can't wait.
There we go.
I didn't want to get too far on something because I think it'd be cool if like it's a true collaboration of all these, but I think we can fit all our ideas in there. Mine's sort of like the thought of trying to forget about somebody who you keep thinking about, and you're saying, but no, don't worry. Like I almost remembered all those really great things, but I'm totally forgetting them. No big deal.
And I almost remembered your hands in my hair, and night in November, as if I was there. The way you were staring, it felt like I knew. I always remember that perfect shade of blue. And then something maybe said. Remember.
Woo. Absolute.
I brought tears to my eyes like almost instantly.
Yeah, I know.
That was good.
Thank you, Colin. Yeah, song night. 5-song night.
Why I was eating cookies instead of writing anything.
That's what brings the song.
That's right.
Vital.
Maya, would you like to share?
Oh, I'll for you.
While I'm talking, and then if you can you do it while I'm playing? Thank you. Am I allowed to sit down here?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, great. I've been looking at you and it's on my mind. Light underwater, the truth ain't quite right. The smell of rust spread on my hands. Start again. White caps on the water, gray skies, sea glass cutting through my tired lies. I'm here asking myself, what else? What else?
Woo. 5 songs. 5 songs.
5 songs.
I think it's a good time to remind everyone that no one walked in here with a hook in mind or with a chord progression. This just all happened. Because I think to a lot of people, I mean, even to me, and I've been in the songwriting world for a long time, this feels miraculous. Like, how did this all just happen in the last 15 minutes?
It's mostly the cookies.
It's mostly the cookies, yeah.
The fear.
The fear.
Cookies and Fear. Our next album.
Yeah.
It's gonna have 5 songs on it.
Yeah, seriously incredible. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pass the mic over to our producer. And producer, this is your opportunity. You can ask people to play what they played again, and then also songwriting team lead, jump in whenever you feel to. And by the time we're done this conversation, you're going to offer a bit of a plan of the path forward here.
Sure. Well, I think you took the road of creating a snippet, and I think that's easily added to almost any of these pieces. I don't remember everyone's lyrical content, but I feel because we have this one theme, they probably do all connect. So a part of that, we were perhaps writing all of those things out on one page. There's slightly different feels to each melodic and instrumental movement, so I think it's finding a middle ground, whether that's something that is done together by everyone sitting down and trying to find which swings can be moved to fit with the lyrics of what, say, you've written, Colleen. Maybe try and sing that over this piece here, or we'll see what happens with that. But I feel that it's a communal decision to be made.
Yeah. So on that note, I mean, first, Caleb, how are you feeling about this?
Yeah, I mean, I specifically didn't write anything on purpose. I felt like, because I have this team lead role, and the way I felt from the beginning, this like innate trust already for these songwriters.
I think one thing would be to get the perhaps the lyrics out onto one piece of paper, and let's look at is there a story there? To me, just from that moment, it felt like perhaps like snapshots, like Polaroids. You know, so it's whether we decide on a structure here and say, is this, say, this first part of the song one snapshot, one moment, and is there some bridge that we create that then moves into the next snapshot? A kind of a concept behind the song, if anyone sort of feels that that's appealing to them to have those things. You know, you've got verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse. That's enough for everyone to get their piece in there.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, you having these ideas of you can finish all of these songs already in your mind, and maybe you could see a way that they could then come together and be bridged, deciding on the tempo and feel, right?
Yeah. Does anyone else are you drawn in a certain direction? Did you hear something from one of the other songwriters that has you think differently about what you wrote? How are you feeling?
I mean, something I thought was interesting is like, I have the beginning of a chorus and Allie's got the end of a chorus. So I was like, if it was just the two of us, we'd probably just like do. And then, but these two styles are so compelling and upbeat and interesting. And so I, you know, like that was just an interesting commonality. I was like, oh, good. She finished when I started. It's perfect. But I feel the music more than I intellectualize the lyrics. So when you mentioned at the end, you were like, but also like tempo and feel. I'm like, yeah, tempo and feel. Like we might need to decide on that. Yeah, and then lyrics can like, but that's because I come at it from a music point of view and not like a poetry point of view. So I don't know. You guys have other thoughts on like what we need to decide first?
Thinking about tempo and feel and thinking about how you guys had the chorus and there were, I don't have the words right now to describe like the difference in tempo and feel, but I also changes in tempo and feel from verse to chorus can be really nice. And doing something like that could be interesting from your vibe
like
to your
verse,
vibe.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it was totally a verse.
You know, if you're feeling what you've got there is chorus-ish and yours is like a bridge out of that. Those three things go together very easily.
So I come from a place where we get in a room with 9 people and try and make music, and it's a challenge. It's a huge challenge, and one thing that we come across a lot is like we get all these really cool ideas, and we're like, oh yeah, well how can we fit that in? And like sometimes I feel like it's for a different song. And so I was definitely picking up on a vibe that there was a lot of commonalities in the 3 here, and then mine was a little bit like out in a different field. So I feel like maybe it's like it would be challenging to reconcile all the ideas together. So yeah, just like
Lyrically perhaps not though, and this is the thought too, you know, we could if you have the lyrics that you've written and then trying those over the feels that we have. I mean, perhaps my idea is a tempo holder, you know. So Caleb, you have background and rhythm. If we all have a tempo laid out and everyone plays their part over it, and then we've got a fixed tempo, and everyone can kind of get a feeling around that to lock us to something. It's an anchor, right?
Yeah.
Everything you said should happen, but I don't know if lyrics is the first thing. Yeah. I think tempo for sure. And then of course with the tempo, if y'all are playing your guitars, please all play the same chord. Do you know what I mean? Like don't play your individual things. So with that being said, can we start doing that? Or
jam, like wouldn't it be interesting to like jam and see if we can play Ellie's thing over this, you know, like play each other's parts and see where there's
precisely. So it's, you know, shout out the 451, whatever, right? Or
get your drum, Caleb.
Get my drum. Yeah, that's true. I should get my djembe for sure. Okay. I moved it to the food area for some reason. I moved it further away and closer to the food. A lot of the night there. What are you doing over here, drum? No. If I'm allowed to, Jordan, can I start doing some like directing or whatever right now? It's time. Because I think it's like okay, yeah. Like, it's time. I'm feeling. I'm hearing so many things, so many ideas. So. Okay, so conceptually, I would like us to start. So we're gonna try a few things. Same with what we just did is like kind of listen to everybody's own, but my ears have an idea.
So I want you to, it's your chord progression. So can you grab your guitar? And if you want to just kind of tell the other, and not that everybody has to play, you know what I mean? Like, but if you want to, you absolutely can. If you want to noodle around
with like some in-betweens, right? But don't sing. We're just playing your progression. And then we're gonna kind of feel out your progression, see how the other songwriters are feeling about that progression. From there, ideas are gonna come up.
Yeah, so all you leading, Maya, if you want to tell people.
7. This is what, like a G minor 6?
A minor 7, G minor 6.
F, E major.
F, E major. Quicker turnaround than the. Oh, same.
Yeah.
So without trying to lose the essence, can we play that like
6 BPM faster? I just want to, again, this is just
The
ideas.
most specific person with BPMs I've ever met.
I'm really guessing.
My band makes fun of me about it all the time.
All the time on the Rubbermaid.
Kaboom, kataka, kata, kaboom, patata, ta 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 ta.
a little faster? Ta-boom, ba-ta-ba, ba-ta-ta-boom, ba-ta-ba, ba-ta-da-boom, ba-ba. Okay, so now I'm gonna ask you, Drew, to transpose in your, voice, right? The second part. Okay. So that thing that hooked your, but without replicating something that Michael Jackson did.
So it's almost like doing the walk down, but
It goes on top. Let's find out.
yeah, that kind of concept. Yeah, again, it's we're happy mediuming everything. So let's go to the da at the end instead. Like down, like that pause right before. So yeah. Just that kind of concept. Now, the lyrics you were using, Maya, right before the again and again, or whatever it was.
Spread on my hands, start again, start again.
I was making sure that the concept didn't lose its essence with the speed change, you know what I mean? It's there still, isn't it? Okay, which is really good news for my brain. For everything. Exactly. Okay, so without stopping, keep going. But right as you end, you're gonna stop playing and we're gonna go to Colleen's progression at this tempo. Again, remember, this doesn't need to sound perfect right now. It's a concept. So you're gonna end your song very soon, but I don't want there to be a break when Colleen starts. Same way you played it.
That chord you finished on also.
Yeah.
Resolved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Want to go back to yours in a second? if one of us played our chords our changes half as fast, you know what I mean? Because we don't need to be doing our changes at the same rate. It's like the verse could be one and then the chorus could be the other. What if you played twice as long on each one of those chords?
Are you guys hearing, I mean, I already asked this once, but are you hearing a bass line? Are you hearing, I mean, we don't know our chord progression yet. Like, we haven't nailed it down.
I think that writing the bass line will happen when we decide what the song's genre-esque thing is going to be, because right now on an acoustic guitar, I would put a completely different bass line than if this is an electro pop song.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I think most of us would probably agree with that. Like,
perhaps what we could do now as well is, say, if you wanted to take the lead of playing guitar throughout the entire song, and Colleen could maybe do keys. So you still introduce your part, but
backing her up throughout her part with keys, and then Maya could learn, say, the progression you have there.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think, Caleb? Is it worth maybe integrating the keys into it now? And
I think that if people are feeling like we're somewhere that needs to be moved forward, then yes.
Well, this sounds like a really good time for you guys all to head over to the Baby Grand.
Yeah.
Start, keep going on these ideas. We're going to wrap up episode 2 at this time. Nice. And so just a recap of what we have done. We have gotten to know each other. We have planted some seeds. We've shared those seeds, and we've started to see what happens as we bring those ideas together, see if they gel together or bounce off one another. So we're going to let these songwriters get to it. I'm going to go and have a quick interview with our engineer. You probably heard a bit of what was going on out there.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Hearing the direction that the song's already going in, does that change any of the decisions you'll make in here tonight?
It's helping me think a little bit ahead. I'm just kind of trying to listen in without getting in the way, and just kind of trying to gauge where things might end up. But I mean, that could all change in the next 20, 30 minutes.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll leave you to it.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll head back out and wrap things up.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Absolutely.
Right.
I really love the inversions.
That's what I thought I heard.
The voicings that you're doing are like that.
Can you sing your parts?
Yeah. Maybe.
Thanks for listening.
And then my temper, I love July with Temper because it's a near.
Okay, we're gonna go for real now. Next time that you come back in, we're going to, it's gonna be an hour later in the time. And so we're gonna see exactly where the song has gotten to. It may sound like the same idea, but developed, or it could be a completely different thing that's happened. So come back, 8 o'clock, jump onto the new live stream, and we'll see where we're at. When we do come back, I'm going to jump right into the middle of the songwriting circle and see if, maybe even throw them a curveball, and see if they can work with it. So yeah, that's the end of this session of TELUS StoryHive On Location Victoria. Well, that wraps up another StoryHive On Location Victoria. If you have a story to tell and you want to be featured on this show, just scan the QR code and apply to be a guest. Until then, this is Jordan Dack with StoryHive On Location Victoria. I look forward to connecting again soon. Be well.